There is a question that every music student sooner or later has to answer, and that is just how good do you want to be? Now, I don't mean how advanced do you want to get. What I'm referring to is how well do you want to play what you're playing? What are your musical standards? When I was little, first taking piano lessons, my teacher would assign me a piece in a method book. I'd go home for that week and I'd practice it. And I would think, I got this. I am so ready to go on. I am going to advance so fast. This is great. I'd get to the lesson. I'd play it for her. I'm happy. I'm thinking it's great. She would point out a few little things that weren't really important to me, but she thought they were important enough to say. And then she would say, I think just one more week on this and you might have this. I'd go back home, take it back on work on it another week and do the stuff she suggested and then come back. Then we got to thinking, if you don't have a teacher to make those judgments for you, that means you have to make those judgments yourself. So just what are the standards you're using when you're working on a particular piece in a method book before you go on to the next piece? You see, learning to play the piano is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It is a long-range goal. Getting through a method book quickly does not mean you're going to learn to play the piano quicker. It probably means you'll never learn to play. You'll fail at it eventually. In the videos that I put up, you really ought to be able to play with me pretty well before going to the next piece. If you can't, then in my opinion, you are not ready to go on. I want to play for you the last few measures of a piece called Long, Long Ago. This piece appears in about every piano method book there is in one arrangement or another. First, I will perform it correctly for you. Now, I'll give you a couple examples of how some people might play the piece. If you play a piece like that, any piece, wrong notes, wrong rhythm, there is no rhythm really, you're struggling along and you feel that's good enough to go on, you will probably not advance very far before you give up. Your standards really need to get much higher than that. Last example I gave, the person is very close. Most of the notes are pretty good, the rhythm's pretty good, there's a few hesitations, but I would still recommend that if you play it like that, you continue to work on it until you get the hesitations out. We don't want any hesitations in the music. The standards you set will pretty much determine your success or failure in learning to play the piano. You have to set the standards early. You have to be very patient with yourself and don't let up on them. Learning to play the piano is a slow process. If you happen to be on a piece you don't like, and we all run across those, occasionally you find a piece, I really don't like this piece. Try and do the best you can with it and then let it go. You can't go from piece to piece to piece where you don't like them. I just don't like these pieces, and you keep thinking, well, I'll just get it this good and go on to the next. That won't work. If you're in a method book and you really don't like the pieces that are being presented, I would encourage you to go get a different method book, because while most all of the method books seem to have some of the same pieces in them, most of the pieces of music in these method books are different from book to book. Now, if a piece is presenting a concept, what is important is to get the concept. Now, I would encourage you, if you have questions, please ask. You can leave comments if you have a YouTube account and you're logged in. If you have a Twitter account, you can tweet me. I leave my Twitter address in the description of every video I upload. I don't expect everyone who watches any of my videos to watch all of them. That's not what they're intended. You're supposed to watch the videos for the books that you have that you're interested in. However, when I do these extra vlogs, these extra instruction videos, I would encourage you to watch all of those. Now, in order to be notified when those come up, because they only come up occasionally, you pretty much have to subscribe for that.